He's the dominant force in ATV racing. Chris Borich wrapped up his 4th straight GNCC championship and 7th straight win at our last race. He likes winning so much, it's safe to say he's going to go for the glory again today. Can anyone stop him? Hello everyone and welcome to Racer TV's coverage of the Can-Am Grand National Cross Country Series. This, the ITP Towers Powerline Park GNCC in St. Clairsville, Ohio. Event's been on the schedule for about 10 years now, and it is known for these big mud holes. Some high-speed sections of the track quickly turn to no speed when you get bogged down, but there are a lot of hardy off-road race fans here in Ohio that can pitch in and try to get you out. Lots of carnage out on the track this morning in our morning race. Pro riders are nice and clean out in the pits right now, but they will be trying to tackle this terrain themselves in just a few moments in our afternoon race. Once you get in the woods, it's no picnic either. Again, for the spectators, it's great to see, so they are beginning to gather at the starting line to watch our afternoon event. Jason Wygand here to give you the call. Before we go racing, let's catch up with one of the privateers who's really been turning it on this year, the number 10 of Kevin Yoho, and yes, I love to say it, Team Big Nuts Racing, turning some heads. Here's Kevin.
I'm Kevin Yoho, run the XC1 Pro Class, number 10 for B&R Motorsports. So far the year's gone pretty well. I had 2 DNFs right off the bat in Florida and Georgia, but after that it's been really good. I work in a coal mine in Cadiz, Ohio. I work midnight shift, 55 hours a week, and then come out here on the weekends. Within a half hour from the house, I used to train like this, so maybe that'll give me a little bit of an advantage.
Well, it's unbelievable to think that this guy, who works a job of more than 40 hours a week, is able to mix it up and maybe contend for podiums against guys like this. Chris Borich, number 5, Walker Fowler, Taylor Kaiser. They are full-time racers and trainers. So it's going to be tough. There's Chris Bithell on the number 4. And how about the number 20, Josh Upperman, who we know well from the ATV motocross ranks, going to take his shot at the woods today. Now, Chris Borich already has a championship wrapped up. He's won 7 races in a row. That is the real challenge. Can anyone stop him from running the table through the end of the year? 3 races remain. And we're about to get one of them started right now. It's the Powerline Park GNCC, brought to you by ITP Tires. Let's go racing. Going to be a 2-hour affair today. Going to put in about 50 miles. Oh! And these guys bumping and banging through the first couple of corners, and Jeff Pickens takes advantage. Grabbing your motorsport.com whole shot of where Pickens on the Yamaha. Quickly passed by the number 5 of Fowler, but still a good start for Pickens. And everyone else jockeying for position until this thing funnels down to one line in the woods. Fowler and Pickens in great position right now. I believe that's Brian Wolf third, and a rare good start for Chris Bithell, the number 4 in the Can-Am. He's up front. Here is Yoho. We talked about him earlier with the Rocky Mountain ATV MC helmet cam. Chasing the number 14 to Johnny Gallagher. Let's hop on for a ride. Fowler, your leader. Not exactly a whole shot master this year either, so he's got to be happy to be leading. Pickens on the Waynesburg Yamaha 2nd. Then it's Brian Wolf 3rd. Taylor Kaiser has moved up to 4th in front of Bithell. And still no sign. There he is, number 1, Chris Borich on the yellow machine, finally coming through. So he's got his work cut out for him. And in dead last is Adam McGill, who normally is up front early. Now we're into those big mud holes on board with Yoho. Nice job wheeling in and jumping through the mud on the B&R Motorsports machine. We go back up front with our leader, Fowler. Wolf now sliding into 2nd. Good to see those 2 up front. They have the speed to win races. It has been a disappointing season for both of them so far, but today could be the day for the breakthrough. Bithell and Kaiser still battling, and here's Borich trying to get sight of the lead pack and hook on with them. And now Wolf has taken the lead from Fowler. these two have some history. They actually raced for the XC2 championship a couple of years ago, and they tied in points, and they actually broke the #1 plate in half and split it. Wolf won the title on a tiebreaker, but they get along really well off the track. Certainly they respect each other's speed, and when you give them the early lead, which is exactly what has happened today, they might be tough to catch because they have the speed to match anyone in the game. And even Chris Borich is going to have to hustle to get there, but that is Borich's specialty, running the riders down in the latter laps. Wolf beginning to pull away from Fowler, and this is what he's capable of. He has won overalls. He's won races in this series before. Wolf was really slowed the first half of the year with a infection in his hand that he suffered during preseason training. It took a long time. You think about holding on and wrestling a 400-some-pound ATV for 2 hours with an infection in the palm of your hand, almost impossible to hang on. But just as quickly as I sing the praises of Wolf healing up, Fowler gets him back. But I think really they're both okay with this position as long as they maintain the gap over everyone else, and they have. Here is Bithell in the #3 spot. Then it's Kaiser and Borich beginning to stir. Takes a look over, realizes there's no one behind him, so he can kind of tuck in with Kaiser and hitch a ride toward the front. You've got 5 real big hitters leading in this one. Fowler, an Ohio native, certainly got to be comfortable. They say this is one of the more slippery racetracks out here. And not just the obvious here in the mud, but even the drier sections are pretty slippery as well. And Borich himself has slipped past Kaiser into the #4 position. Into the pits, here goes Fowler up through the gears with Wolf in hot pursuit. And if they can do this together, if they can race together, I don't think they have to worry about foul play. They will race each other clean. Maybe they can maintain this type of gap all the way to the end, but it is very early.
The Can-Am Renegade 1000 XXC with the most powerful engine in the industry. The Outlander 1000 XT with a redesigned chassis for unequal trail riding. The Commander 1000 Limited, the most equipped, luxurious side-by-side in the industry. The facts say it's the most advanced lineup out there. But the ride says it all.
Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am and by Amsoil and by Rocky Mountain ATVMC. Battle is on here. NBC Sports coverage of the Grand National Cross Country Series. Walker Fowler gets through the big mud bog, gives the fans a salute. Chaos for everyone else. There is your second place rider, Brian Wolf. And this track is getting wider and wider as riders try to search for a good line through the mud. I think that is Taylor Kaiser in the #3 position, unless we miss someone in that crowd. I like to call them the mud fleas in GNCC terms. The fans know exactly where to go to find the action. I'm not even sure how you hike down into that section. GNCC fans, they don't need GPS to get down there. It's just instinctual. They know where the action is going to happen, and a lot of them are pumped to see this kid, Walker Fowler, up front. Like we said, Ohio native. A lot of hype entering this year as we see Bithell up to the #2 spot. Running strong in the Motorworks Can-Am. Borich up to 3rd. Wolf back to 4th. And Taylor Kaiser at the tail end of this group needs to pick it up, stay with them. They've opened up a little gap. Back to Fowler. He won every race in the XC2 class last year. That's considered the stepping stone to this. So as a rookie, a lot of pressure on his shoulders. And I think a lot of people believe that pressure, he might have let that get to him. He maybe set the standards a little high in what maybe should have been just a learning year. But he has definitely straightened it out, smoothed it out, and is running a great pace early today. And we have not seen him put a wheel wrong yet. Not riding like a rookie. But Chris Borich circulating back there, you know he's just going to save his best for last. We had a race earlier this year where Fowler was leading up into the final few corners. Borich put the pass on him, and I think Borich did it that way on purpose. He doesn't like to just win the races. He likes to break the spirit of his competitors. And there's no doubt now, every moment Fowler's leading this race, as we get closer to the end, he will be reviewing the finish of that race from earlier this year where Boric ran him down. He knows it's not over until you take that checkered flag. Here we are, into the Yamaha pits. Fowler going to take on fuel, get fresh goggles. Bithell is in the pits as well. Bithell usually gets great gas mileage. Sometimes he'll take an extra lap. Not the case today. Fowler was able to get back out ahead of him, but Boric did not stop. So your Yoshimura Suzuki rider is your leader, Chris Boric, and he is running flat out right now. He knows if he can have a big enough gap to get out of the pits on the next lap and not lose the lead, the race will essentially be his. So a lot to watch. And how about that guy, Adam McGill, who we saw was dead last through the first couple of corners, has worked his way into the top 5. Kaiser coming through next, and I did not see Brian Wolf. Boric couldn't care less about those guys. He's running his own race right now on his own strategy. You see the 9-mile mark of this third lap. Expectations are about a 50-mile race today with 5 10-mile laps. So we're at the exact halfway point in this one. Watch McGill. He is absolutely flying, trying to make up ground on the lead pack. You certainly can't count him out. Stay with us.
When it's time to get ready to ride and you need gear, it's time to go to RockyMountainATV.com. With the largest selection of ATV parts, apparel, and accessories, we have what you need at deep discounts. We have a huge state-of-the-art facility that ensures your order ships out quickly with accuracy that's second to none. Most items ship free and arrive at your door in 3 days or less. Visit our industry-leading website, RockyMountainATV.com today for the best prices, quickest shipping, online support, and largest in-stock selection around. RockyMountainATV.com. Get ready.
Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am, by AMSOIL, and by Rocky Mountain ATV MC.
Racing.
Well, a sad but also proud moment from this morning's race. Here is the yellow Suzuki of Glenn Jody Pritchard, today being ridden by his main competitor, Dave Simmons. Sadly, we lost Glenn Pritchard over the summer after a long bout with cancer. And in his honor, Simmons, who would battle with him week after week, is racing his machine today. Took him a little while to get used to it, but once he did, Simmons was in his customary position up front in the super senior class and doing his old buddy Glenn Jody Pritchard proud. They were both racers and friends, and that's what GNCC Racing is all about. Good stuff, boys. We'll certainly miss having Glenn at the races. Hearts go out to the Pritchard family. Switch over to the open 4x4 class. The 990, Zach Sikowski, no surprise. He has been a whole shot master in this division the last couple of years. But here comes the field in hot pursuit. You got to worry about Michael Swift, Brian Buchanan, Tim Farr, a legend of ATV motocross racing today. There he is on the number 4 Polaris. And we mentioned the mud holes that we have out here in Ohio. Well, I'll tell you what, these big 4x4 machines can just shrug that off. They'll go as fast in the mud as they do on the dry. This kind of horsepower, ground clearance, and traction. But the man to beat, Brian Buchanan, the defending champion of the class, wins the race today and wins the morning race overall over Swift and Sikowski. A sweep by the open 4x4 class. And there's Dave Simmons with the Pritchard family doing them proud, winning the Super Senior Division. Great stuff there. Back to our afternoon race. Chris Boric is your leader. That was the case when we went to break, but Walker Fowler in second has closed the gap, and Boric has still not pitted, so they have the opportunity to get the lead back from your GNCC champ when he stops for fuel and for goggles. Fowler's got to stay on him, though. He is right there. Chris Bithell still strong in third. Fourth, Adam McGill. Now, normally McGill is the guy who gets the good starts, and Bithell is the guy that gets the bad one. And for that matter, Boric is usually not leading this early in the race, so all the roles have been reversed, and we'll see who is able to win this chess match, who likes their position best. McGill now up to the number 3 spot. Bithell in hot pursuit in 4th. They were once teammates on that Can-Am team. It is now a solo effort behind Bithell. And McGill has definitely had his bad luck this year building his own program around Hondas. But maybe today is the day they finally have that thing dialed in. He's got some stiff competition in front of him, though. Boric and Fowler. Boric has actually extended it a little bit over the number 5. Not sure what happened to Taylor Kaiser or Brian Wolf. They were in this pack early, but it looks like it has boiled down to 4 riders now. And here's the pit stop for Boric. Can the crew get him in and out before Fowler comes through? I don't think so. There goes Walker Fowler back into the lead, and the Yamaha people are pumped. And here comes McGill. Oh, but McGill has to stop as well. So now we know how McGill made up all that ground the previous time around. So he has to give it all back here in the pits with the Precision Racing Moto Experts crew. He's in 4th. Got a lot of work to do to catch that fleeing pack up front, and I believe now everyone's pits are complete. So it's a knockdown, drag-out fight to the finish. Certainly exciting to watch him hit these big mud holes. Walker Fowler has got the getaway plan right now, has wrestled the lead back away from Boric. Wait a minute! McGill is up to the number 2 spot. He was in 4th. He's back to 2nd. And now Fowler's getting fouled up by lap traffic, and Boric and McGill have the opportunity to go to the number 1 spot. And McGill is into the lead, and Boric is right there with him. Fowler as well. Things starting to heat up here as the stretch run begins here in Ohio. Oh! Big mistake through that section. Not sure who that rider was. Everyone else trying to make their way through, and Bithell has gotten it stuck. That rut just got about an inch too deep. And as always, the fans pitching in. Bithell now back underway and in pursuit of the lead pack. Hard to keep up with it. Looks like it's Fowler back in the lead now over McGill. And they are hustling. Whoa, Boric is in 3rd, and Smoke starting to puff out of his machine. Believe they're headed toward the white flag now. I don't know if Boric's machine will get him to the finish. I don't know if Fowler and McGill care. They are going to bang bars with each other. There is the white flag. 1 lap to go. Fowler has been up front all day. McGill has come from last. And Boric is just trying to nurse this thing to the finish line. Listen to that motor. That thing is running rough. Boric already has the championship wrapped up, so it doesn't really matter about the points. But he's not going to give up until the machine gives up for him. Wait a minute! He's on fire!
Any engine. Any season. At home. At the track. Or on the trail. Amsoil, the first in synthetics.
Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am, by Amsoil, and by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Things have gotten crazy here at Powerline Park, and the battle for the win still rages between Walker Fowler and Adam McGill. It'll be the first win of the year for either one of them, and they are motivated. Meanwhile, as we are going to break, Chris Boric, your defending series champ, his machine literally caught on fire. Here's what happened.
I think the head pipe popped off and tried to run it, trying to catch those guys, and it just, heat of it just started melting stuff, caught on fire. Gonna see if we can get another head pipe and get back out, do another lap.
Wow. Absolutely nothing to gain for Boric, and I would be impressed if I think he would even run after that. We've been saying Boric's on fire for quite some time, but we never meant it like we did today. Meanwhile, a battle for the win, Fowler ahead of McGill still, and Chris Bithell taking advantage of the problems for Boric to move up to 3rd. He's not giving up. Wanted to go for that number 1 spot as well. These guys know this is the day that they can grab a win because Boric is out. They don't have to worry about that last lap charge. And Adam McGill has taken the lead back again from Fowler. It has gone back and forth more times than I can count between these two. I'll tell you what, McGill wins this one. You might as well start in last every darn week because obviously the bad start has not affected him today. Fowler and Bithell still 2nd and 3rd. I think Fowler might have something left under the hood. You know he's not going to let McGill off the hook late in this one. And they're deep inside lap traffic. see. Not everyone on the same level of aggression on the last lap as these guys are. McGill has opened it up on the gas in this field section. And I'll tell you what, he's a West Virginia native, but this is probably the closest that the series comes to his home in West Virginia. We're not too far from the state line. If he wins here, it'll be a very popular one. The McGill Mafia gonna be pumped, but can Fowler try to reel him back in and make a race of it down the stretch? Man, what an effort for McGill. He was last going into the woods when this race started, and now he's in the #1 spot. There he is. A few lap riders in front of him. This could be the opportunity Fowler needs to get him back. And man, you're leading one of these things in the last lap, and then you're going to these mud holes. We saw what happened to Bithell earlier, getting hung up. He almost got hung up again. And that could happen to McGill at any moment. It could happen to Fowler, and Fowler has closed the gap back up. Gonna be a drag race down to the finish, and they are really pushing the pace now. Look at Fowler trying anything he can come up with. Outside, inside, working the lines. McGill's gotta try to stay steady. Gotta try to ignore all that pressure being applied. Final couple of corners. Who's gonna take it here at Powerline Park? I think McGill has the distance he needs. Final corner, and Adam McGill takes his first win of the season. Great race from both of them. Fowler right behind him in second, and Chris Bithell's going to take third. He was there all day long, but those two hooked up something special down the stretch. Bithell put the Can-Am up on the podium. Meanwhile, let's catch up with a very happy winner.
I didn't have a real good start, so I need to work on that. And you know what? Thank God, finally broke the freaking curse. Motor held up. It just, when it works, you know? So I'm just glad it's over.
Yeah, well, that guy has had tons of bad luck this year. He finally puts that Honda into victory lane. McClure and Wolf round out the top 5. That's your AMSOIL results from Powerline Park. Here are your GNCC standings. Fowler, Kaiser, Bithell still tussling over that 4th place spot. The bad luck for McGill leaves him still in 5th. Here's your Can-Am turning point of the race. Pretty obvious. Chris Borch did one thing strange today. First, he led fairly early on. And then a second, even stranger moment when his machine catches fire. And that would end his race day and open the door for someone to finally end his win streak. And boy, were Adam McGill and Walker Fowler motivated to do that. They went back and forth over and over. Who would take advantage of that turning point? Well, in the end, it would be McGill. Fowler kept the heat on all the way through the checkered flag, but McGill takes his first win this year. Congratulations to the kid from West Union, West Virginia. For everyone at Racer TV, I'm Jason Wygant. Thanks for watching.